Hello and welcome to Ashland, Ohio. We're at Brookside Park for the scheduled 3 p.m. game going off just a little bit after 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Jim Flanagan. You're watching the Gremlins Network. Happy to have you with us from wherever you may be watching. And welcome back to those of you who joined us on the earlier game. The Gremlins coming away 5-0 winners over Midland. First pitch of the game from Jack Besgrove is in for a ball. Batting order for these AWP Lumberjacks from DuQuoin, Illinois. Fede Eder will lead things off. He'll be followed by Johnny Lynch, Cody Pannebacker, Fede Olheiser in the cleanup spot. That one misses or hits on the outside edge for a strike. Frank Kimlinger is the 5-hitter. Cody Gibbons will follow. Tyler Bully, Juan Vala, Mike Morero, and Ryan French in the pitcher spot. So Morero in the 9 batting spot. French not batting but pitching. Defense for the Gremlins, a little bit of the shuffling of the deck. In the outfield, Redamar still in left, Inoka in center. It's the youngster Abayardo Penuelas in right field. In the infield, Brian Avery. He was the catcher in the last game. Now at third, Evans at short. Malarzuk comes in from the outfield to play second, his regular position. Swing and a miss by Fede Eder for the first out. And Eric Ochoa over at first. Nick Mullins back doing the catching. And the phenomenal youngster from Australia, 20 years of age, Jack Besgrove, off his 17 strikeout performance last night in the win over number 6 ranked Circle Tap. This one features 2 more of the top 10 teams in the world. The Gremlins, of course, come in at the number 1 spot they've held for a couple of years now, at least to this midpoint of the season 2024. AWP ranked number 8, so it's 1 versus 8. Johnny Lynch at the plate right now for the Lumberjacks. Lynch comes in hitting .250, 10 hits in 39 at-bats. Those numbers have changed a bit as this tournament progresses, but that's where things stood before the first pitch of the tournament. This one being held at beautiful Brookside Park in Ashland, Ohio. Ashland, for those of you who may not know, situated between Columbus and Cleveland. Cleveland, of course, on the lake up north, and Columbus a little bit south of here. A little flare into the gap in left center field, and Johnny Lynch has the first hit of the ball game. Fielded and put back into play by Redamar. You see him holding the bat, gets one up in the zone and just lifts it into the gap in left center field. So he's aboard with 1 out. Cody Pannebacker will be the batter, one of the leading hitters for these Lumberjacks. Cody right at 396 when the tournament started. 19 hits in 48 at-bats. He and Kimlinger, the center fielder for the Lumberjacks, have been doing the lion's share of the damage offensively. So 2 to keep an eye on, Pannebacker and Kimlinger. Little change up on the outside edge. So Besgrove 17 strikeouts last night. Kuba Osika a baker's dozen with 13 in the no-hit performance just concluded here on the Gremlins Network against Midland. That one's lifted out of play. Way foul and way left. Pannebacker, Olheiser, and Kimlinger in the middle of the order. 3, 4, and 5 for the Lumberjacks, all with good power, all capable of hitting those gaps. Lynch with good speed over at first. Fouled straight back. The Gremlins with a game under their belt. The Lumberjacks looking fresh in their white tops and navy blue pants. Fresh and clean, crisp at least at the moment. Foul tip just gets away from Mullins. So Besgrove still ahead, 0-2. Fouled straight back to the screen. Got a pretty good piece of that one. Last time these two teams faced each other was in the semifinal game in the Port Huron, Michigan tournament, Blue Water Invitational. That was a largely scoreless affair until late in the game. Cole Evans coming through with a 2-run single for the win. Little flare into the dugout area on the first base side. Brad Kilpatrick was the pitcher of record for the Lumberjacks in that one of two USA national team pitchers. The other, of course, Cody Gibbons. Cody is the DP, designated player in this game. Lined into center field, but right at Benny Noka. Played perfectly by Benny. Out number 2. Watch it on the replay. Ball was up in the zone a little bit. Nice pitch to drive by Panebeck. Hit hard, but right at Benny. 2 outs. Here's Fede Olheiser. Down the heart of Main Street for a called strike. Olheiser hitting at .267 at the start of the tournament, 8 hits in 30 at-bats. Upstairs, taken for a ball. So Besgrove 17, Osika is 13. Count him 30 strikeouts through the first 2 games for the Gremlin pitching staff. Very impressive. Took a little bit off that one, a little spinning foul ball. Besgrove does not throw the changeup a lot, but seems to find the right place for it. Just enough to keep those hitters off balance. Gets good movement on it, like his other pitchers, late movement. Strike 3. So down goes Olheiser, 2 strikeouts in the inning for the Lumberjacks in the first. They score no runs on 1 hit, 1 man left. We've played a half inning. AWP Lumberjacks, nothing, and the New York Gremlins coming to bat. We'll be right back with more from Brookside Park in Ashland, Ohio. You're watching the Gremlins Network. Home half of the first inning for the Gremlins. They'll get their first look at Ryan French. Ryan, of course, hailing from north of the border in Canada. One of the pitchers on this staff. I mentioned the other 2, Cody Gibbons. and Brad Kilpatrick. I've not seen Brad out here this weekend. Not sure if he's on hand, but he's the other pitcher. The two of them, Gibbons and Kilpatrick, members of the USA national team. Gremlins batting order will send Redemar up first. The youngster Abayardo Panuelas will bat second. Benny Noka batting third. Eric Ochoa in the cleanup spot. Cole Evans fifth. Brian Avery sixth. Ladislao Malarzuk seventh. Nick Mullins eighth. And the New Zealand youngster Tane Mumu in the 9 spot. Defensively for the AWP Lumberjacks in the outfield, Juan Vala in left, Frank Kimlinger in center, Mike Morero over in right. The infield around the horn, Fede Olheiser at third, Fede Eder at short, Cody Pennebecker at second, and Johnny Lynch at first. Tyler Bully, the catcher, former USA junior member way back when. Ryan French in the circle. Redemar fouls that one off. Redemar at the top of the hit leaders, came in with a .429 batting average, 15 hits in 35 at-bats. Only Eric Ochoa with more hits, fouled straight back. Redemar's first year with the Gremlins, he has been off to a torrid start and has not let up. Second in the team in homers, he's got a pair of them, and second in RBIs with 13 at the start of the weekend. Little flare foul. That's the skipper, Greg Leather, back in the third base coach's box. Greg Hicks moving over from third base to first base, his usual spot for this game. Greg had the duties at third in the first game of the day against Midland, Michigan. High hopper over the middle, nice glove there. Just not able to come up with the throw. Adair follows Redemar all the way into foul territory, trying to see if he turned left coming around the base. He did not. So Redemar aboard with an infield single. Good glove work by Adair, but not able to come up with the throw in time. Here's the youngster from Mexico, Panuelas, 3 for 3 last night in his debut as a Gremlin. Coaching staff already putting Abayardo to work, not only as a batter and starter in some games, but plenty of base running experience. Bounces one back to French. 1-3 on the putout if you're keeping a scorecard. Down to second goes Redemar, and Benny Noka will be the batter. Inoka with not much of a chance to swing the bat thus far in the tournament. 3 walks last night and a hit by pitch. Another couple walks today. The average not quite there yet for Benny, but the on-base percentage certainly is. Top tier in the RBI leaders for the team. Always a run producer, and the obvious reason Benny's hitting third on this powerful New York Gremlin lineup. No balls, 2 strikes to Inoka. Ryan French in the circle for AWP. Just underway, first inning action here. Way upstairs, gets away from Bully. That'll send Redemar over to third, now 60 feet away from the first run of the ball game. That one gets to the screen, gets away from Bully, and Redemar is going to come home on the wild pitch from Ryan French. So the infield single has turned into a run, still with just one out, and Inoka at the plate, now with the bases clear. Little changeup floats that one just inside. Laced into center field. That's a base hit for Inoka. Drives that one right up the middle, so Benny aboard with one out, one run in, and the batter will be Eric Ochoa. Eric came into the tournament with 18 hits and 42 at-bats, a .429 average. Had a home run last night, a two-run double today, so you can bump those numbers up some more. He has just continued to generate offense for the Gremlins. 15 RBIs at the start of the tournament. Add to that total as well. He is a good handful ahead of most every other batter in this Gremlin lineup. Ball off the plate outside. Last night, a towering home run to straightaway center field. Cleared the fence out by the monument. Johnny Appleseed Monument. We'll talk more about that as the weekend goes on. If you see it on the screen way out beyond the center field wall, it's a stone, sort of a concrete stone monument, memorializing the visit Johnny took through town back in the day. Outside edge of the plate for a called strike. The double this morning Ochoa hit was a line shot to left center. Bounced up and hit the fence hard. He is definitely swinging it. One hopper to second. They'll get the runner, Inoka, back to first, double play. So the side retired. Good job of closing out the inning by Ryan French. The Gremlins get a run on 2 hits. Nobody left. We played one complete, 1-0 Gremlins over the AWP Lumberjacks. Five, 6, 7 coming up for the Lumberjacks here in the second. That's Kimlinger, Gibbons, and Bully. Kimlinger is the Eric Ochoa equivalent on the AWP side. He is at the top of the categories in most of the major offensive groups. .359 batting average, 14 hits to start the weekend. That one sails to the screen. We mentioned Ochoa's 20 RBI tally at this point, or thereabouts. Kimlinger came into the tournament with 19. Also top 5 of several other categories, batting average, hits, and runs scored. So a key part of this offense for AWP. Swing and a miss on the rise ball late was Kimlinger. Lumberjacks, of course, would love to see him at the plate with runners aboard, but starts out a clean inning here. Lifted high and out of play up over the top of the press box. Swing and a miss late on the riser from Besgrove. Down on strikes goes Kimlinger. Strikeout number 3 for Besgrove, second in a row. The batter, Cody Gibbons, doing the designated player duties in this one. Cody, as we mentioned, one of the aces of the staff, pitching staff for the Lumberjacks. Cody, a member of the USA U19 team. Many of you, I'm sure, watched it at home as I did, winning a medal in that one. In for a called strike. We saw Gibbons last summer, was a member of the Marcio Sausage team, so he is a first-year AWP Lumberjack. Foul tip, swing and a miss. Swing and a miss late on the rise ball. Good elevation on that pitch, so down on strikes is Gibbons. Strikeout number 4 on the day for Besgrove. And with 2 out and nobody aboard, Tyler Bully will be the batter. Swing and a miss by Bully. Tyler, among the best players for the USA, came up as a junior. We first saw him back in 2014 up in Whitehorse in the WBSA Junior World Championships. He's gone on to become a member of the senior men's team. Hard to believe he's been at it for 10 years, give or take. Just off the plate outside. Off the plate away. Not much offense for Circle Tap last night, but they bunched it up in the 1 inning. For the rest of the game, Besgrove was lights out, 17 strikeouts. Ezekiel got a hit to break the no-hitter in the 5th. They rallied and scored 2 on a single by Matt Harrow. Gremlins coming back to win. Down on strikes goes Bully. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout in the 2nd. That's 4 in a row. 5 in the game. After an inning and a half, Gremlins on top by a 1-0 score. We'll be right back with more from Brookside Park in Ashland, Ohio. I'm Jim Flanagan. You are watching the Gremlins Network. Home half of the second inning for the Gremlins. It'll be 5, 6, and 7. Evans, Abry, and Malarzuk. Evans started the weekend with a .276 average, 8 hits coming in, a half a dozen RBIs, and 2 home runs. Ochoa, the home run leader for the team with 4, counting last night's. A handful of other players with 2 on the Gremlins. Ball stays upstairs high. For those of you wondering where some of the Gremlin players are, Jerome Remeke out with an injury, a broken bone to his wrist, so he may be out. Hopefully we'll see him back for Grand Rapids, the USA National. Getting some good medical attention following that injury, hit by a pitch thrown by Marco Diaz, one of the hardest thrower, if not the hardest thrower in the game. Zenon Winters out with an ankle injury, suffered up in Port Huron. We say hello to both of those fellas if they're watching back at home. Matthew Waugh and Blake Hunter from north of the border, Canada. They were up at the WBSC qualifier, so they were not able to make it this weekend. Good chance for some of these youngsters to get some at-bats and playing time, though. Little flare fly ball, that's going to carry. Hits the fence on a fly. Evans rounding first and has a stand-up double. Didn't look like it was that hard hit. The flag in center blowing out towards right. Got it up in the jet stream, and it carried. Good defense by Mike Morero getting the ball back in, but Evans at second now with nobody out, and Brian Abry coming to the plate. One gets away from Bully and goes to the screen. So French and Bully having a little trouble in the early going. That's a couple 3 that have made it to the screen. Gremlins doing what good teams do. They take advantage of little mistakes. Somewhere along the way they add up. Evans now at third. Good hard strike down the middle from French. Abry among the RBI leaders for this team with 8. An opportunity to add to that total right here. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Brian showing some of the versatility and the reason he is such a valuable asset to this Gremlins team. Normally an outfielder, or has been of late. Caught the first game this morning and now over at third base. So a very versatile player is Brian Avery. High, shallow to center. Kimlinger fighting the sun, makes the catch. Tagging up is Evans, but he'll stay put. Good throw from Kimlinger. Not quite deep enough. Watch the replay, you'll see. Avery getting just under it. Kimlinger fighting the sun, makes the catch. Keeps Evans at third. For the Gremlins, Ladislav Malarczuk. Off the plate, outside. Laddie was the regular second baseman for the Gremlins throughout most of last year. Played right field in the first game, now back at his regular position at second. Tane Mumu came up as a shortstop in New Zealand, but of course Cole Evans has been the shortstop for the New Zealand national team for going on 8 years. So Tane has slid over to play more at second base of late. Great hands, great quickness has Tane, so certainly capable of making that kind of move. Ball off the plate outside, or I'm sorry, on the edge of the plate for a strike. Little short hopper, it's going to go foul over on the left side. Olheiser at third, trying to see which side of the line it was going to come down on. Swing and a miss on the riser. Down on strikes goes Malarczuk. Second out of the inning. It'll be up to Nick Mullins to try and bring Evans home. Change up for a strike in the middle. Right down the middle for another strike. Out for a strike three call on the edge. So the Gremlins miss a golden opportunity. Evans with a leadoff double, but they are unable to bring him around. Got him to third, but that was the end of it. In the inning, no runs, one hit, one man left. We played 2 complete innings. Gremlins on top by a 1-0 score. Top half of the third inning for the Lumberjacks, 8-9-1 in their batting order. That's Vala, Morero, and Fede Eater back at the top of the order. Vala comes into the tournament with a .292 batting average. 7 hits in 24 at-bats, 7 RBIs. So producing some runs regardless of where he is in the batting order. Swing and a miss. Good riser right by Vala. The last time these two teams played each other, it was Ty Sebastian pitching for the Gremlins. Ty was on loan from the Toronto Batmen in that game. He pitched a scoreless 4. Besgrove came in to relieve and close it out. And all Besgrove did was strike out all 9 outs down the stretch in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. The only blemish was a walk. So he has been on point against the Lumberjacks. That one's fouled up and out of play. Kilpatrick actually pitched a very good game in that semifinal at Port Huron against the Gremlins. They just weren't able to score any runs against the 1-2 punch of Ty Sebastian, followed by Jack Besgrove. Oh, 2 to Vala. Change up and a beauty. Just missing off the plate. Defense for the Gremlins straight away. Ochoa and Abry a couple of steps off either bag. Strike 3 called. Just a little bit finer on the black of the plate. First out of the inning. 6 strikeouts to this point. Here's the 9-hitter, Mike Morero. Off the plate outside. Ball stays upstairs high. Foul tipped straight back to the screen. If you're wondering about other pitchers for the Gremlins, Daniel Chapman from New Zealand, a recent sign by the Gremlins, is here. Has not yet seen duty here as we head into game number 3 for the Gremlins. 5-2 winners over number 6 Circle Tap last night. 5-0 winners over Midland earlier this afternoon. Full count on Morero. Foul tip will do it again. Call, strike 3. Marrero down on strikes. Sixth strikeout in a row, 7th in the game for Besgrove. Back to the top of the order, Fede Eder, a strikeout victim in his first trip to the plate. But then you can say that about most everyone in the lineup to this point. Johnny Lynch with the lone hit. A 1-out single back in the first. Other than that, fly out by Cody Pannebecker, and all strikeouts the rest. Swing and a miss on the riser. Ball high. 1-2. Mullins of the school, you don't throw any more strikes than you have to. So Besgrove just nibbling around the edges on that last pitch. There's one hit up the middle. Knocked down at short by Evans. Comes up with it throwing. Great play by Cole Evans. That one had base hit written all over it. Let's watch the replay. That ball was on its way to center field. Somehow Cole Evans, diving, gets to the ball, comes up and throws in time to get Eder. So 3 up and down for the Lumberjacks in the third. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We've played 2.5. Still 1-0 Gremlins on top of the AWP Lumberjacks. I'm Jim Flanagan, and you are watching the Gremlins Network. Home half of the third inning for the Gremlins. It'll be 9-1-2. That's Tane Mumu. And then back to the top of the shop with Lucio Redamar and Abayerdo Puenuelas. So the speed portion of the lineup for the Gremlins, Mumu, Redamar, and Puenuelas. All three of these ball players very aggressive on the bases. Skipper Greg Leather has turned them loose in situations that dictate steals. A couple throwouts in Port Huron, but for the most part, the Gremlins able to take bases, utilizing that great speed. Upstairs for a ball. Tane got a start at second base in this morning's game, or this afternoon's earlier game. He is the DP, the designated player in this one. That one splits the uprights for a called strike. And ball 4, the leadoff walk to the 9-hitter. So we'll see if Greg Leather, skipper over in the third base box, stays aggressive, running through the signs. Tane taking a look, Redamar as well. We'll see how he utilizes this speedy portion of the batting order. All good contact hitters as well. Off to the races is Tane. He had second stolen, but it's a foul ball. I haven't seen the foot race yet, but put those three on a starting line. Mumu, Redamar, and Panuelas. Little flare out of play on the left side. I thought Mumu was the fastest in the league until I saw Panuelas last night. It would be a good foot race. And wouldn't rule Redamar out either. In on the outside edge for a called third. So 1 out, Mumu still over at first base. Here's the rookie, Abayardo Panuelas. Panuelas, we mentioned in the U23 program for Team Mexico. Shows bunt, doesn't. Mumu is down and safe at second. He's going to help himself to third as the ball winds up in center field. That one gets thrown away, bounces off the top of the dugout. A little more carom and Mumu comes home. He had second stolen straight up. The throw went away, so he's now at third. Laced up the middle, base hit, RBI single. Big rounding turn at first, and he slides into second safely. Kimlinger took a little too long coming up with the ball, and Abayardo says, I'll take a double. Watch on the replay. He was off to the races. Big rounding first, really didn't hesitate. Went right on into second base, coming home to score easily is Tane Mumu. So the three speedy youngsters that we talked about have generated a run. Mumu leading off the inning with the walk, getting over to third, and Panuelas bringing him home. 3 for 3 last night was Abayardo, another big RBI there. Had a double last night and 2 runs scored. Now drives in a run. And ready to score another if the power part of the order, 3, 4, 5, Inoka, Ochoa, and Evans can produce. High and foul, but out of play on the right side. Inoka, a line shot single up the middle in his first trip to the plate. Upstairs ball. Holds up on the changeup. 3 walks and a hit batter to Inoka last night. 2 more walks today in the first game. Inoka looks like a player that wants to swing it. Little flare, it's going to go foul up along the right side. Penuelas from second was all the way around third by the time the ball landed. Tremendous speed. So the count even at 2-2 on Benny Noka. Hard grounder off of second baseman Pannebecker. Penuelas will scamper home with another run. Hard hit ball. Pannebecker just couldn't come up with it cleanly. Watch the replay. We'll let you decide hit or error. Probably error in the book. Penuelas comes around to score, so 2 runs in the inning. Now a 3-0 Gremlin lead. Here's Ochoa. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Good time to show that one. The inning started with Mumu. He drew a walk, stole second, got to third. Came home on the single by Penuelas. Penuelas scoring on the hard hit ball to second base by Benny Noka. High fly ball, shallow right center field. Kimlinger gives way to Vala coming over to left center to make the catch for out number 2. Just got under that one you see on the replay there. Here's Cole Evans. Evans a double to lead off the second inning. Got as far as third but was stranded when French got the next 3 hitters. Way inside, almost hit him. Fly ball out to the gap in right center field. Going back is Marrero. Can't come up with it off the fence. Coming around third, he'll score Inoka, and Evans with a triple off the fence in right field. 4-0 Gremlins. So Evans on the day, a double and a triple. Halfway to the cycle, and he's done the tough part with the triple. Valiant effort out in right field by Marrero. He went as far as he could go, but the ball caromed off hard. By the time he picked it up, Evans at third and Inoka already scored. A little bit of shade on that fence out in right field too, from shade to sun. You wonder if that affects the outfielder's ability to pick the ball up. That one sails to the screen, and sailing home is Evans on the wild pitch. 5-0 Gremlins. So the goal for opposing teams and pitchers, of course, to try and stay out of the big inning. AWP unable to do it here in the third. 4 big runs coming in for the Gremlins. Laced into center field. Base hit for Avery. Kimlinger goes over to get the ball back in. That'll keep Avery at first. So another hard hit ball. And I think that's going to bring a visit to the circle. That's the third hit of the inning for the Gremlins. It started with a walk. Then the double, the stretch double by Penuelas. the triple by Evans, and now a single by Avery. So it looks like Cisco Sabate, if I'm not mistaken. Match that number up with the scorecard, see if I have that correctly. Cisco Sabate, also a position player, so AWP not going to throw Gibbons at this point. The Gremlins saw Sabate pitching back in January during the exhibition season. They didn't have their full contingent down there, so they had Sabate and Valdi Turkelson doing the pitching, a couple of left-handers who I think have the best knuckleballs around. We talked about that at the time, so wouldn't be surprised to see a few of the funny pitches from Sabate here.
Now pitching for the AWP Lumberjacks, Cisco Sabate, and the new catcher.
Sometimes just a different look, and Sabate obviously a left-hander. Different delivery, different release. It'll give the Gremlins, force them to adjust a bit. Avery belongs to French, so keep the book open on him. At the plate right now is Malarczuk. He is the 8th batter to step to the plate here in the third. So straight substitution, Sabate for Ryan French. Lefty on lefty. High hopper, that one finds its way up the middle. Malarczuk with a single. Avery over to second.
Up next for the Gremlins, the catcher, Nick Mullins.
Sabate didn't waste any time, just came right at Malarczuk. Sometimes a hitter greeting a new pitcher, you look for that first pitch, and Ladislau able to single up the middle. Here's the 9th batter of the inning, Nick Mullins. Inside for a ball. Off the plate away. Tane Mumu, who started the inning with that walk to get things going, waiting on deck. Foul tip to the screen. Way inside with the changeup. Three balls and a strike to Nick Mullins. Already with a couple 3 walks on the day in the earlier game. Laced into center field. It's going to fall in front of Kimlinger. Rounding third and coming home to score is Avery. Down to second, Malarczuk, and Nick Mullins with an RBI single as the hit parade continues for the New York Gremlins.
Score now 6-0. Batter is the designated player, Tane Mumu.
So second bat of the inning for Tane Mumu. Walked and scored on the double by Abayardo Penuelas. Gets away from Bully. That'll go to the screen. Everybody picks up 60 feet. Mullins at second now. Malarczuk at third. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss on the rise ball. That went up and out of the zone. The outs in the inning, Redemar's strikeout looking, and the fly out by Ochoa. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Mumu. And Sabate extinguishes the fire, but not before the Gremlins add a 5 spot. 6-0 Gremlins as we head to the 4th. We'll be back right after this. You're watching the Gremlins Network from Brookside Park in beautiful Ashland, Ohio. Top of the 4th inning for the AWP Lumberjacks. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. That's Lynch, Pannebecker, and Olheiser. Kimlinger would follow if one of them can reach. So the Gremlins in the bottom half of the 3rd, they scored their 5 runs on 5 hits. Swing and a miss late on that one is Johnny Lynch. Lynch is the owner of the only hit of the game for AWP against Jack Besgrove. A clean single to left field in the 1st. Change up outside. Little foul up along the screen. Lynch, a player much in the mold of a Redemar or Matthew Waugh. Good contact hitter, good speed, but also with some good pop in the bat. He can go deep. Swing and a miss. So down on strikes goes Lynch. Eight strikeouts for Besgrove if you're counting. Here's Cody Pannebecker. Little body English by Pannebecker trying to get out of the way, but it's a called strike. Trying to sell the call, I suppose. Change up and a beauty just off the plate. They appeal it and do not get the call. And that one they appeal, and they do get the call on the strike. 1-2, advantage Jack Besgrove. Pannebecker among the very best hitters on this AWP team. 20 hits at this point in the season. Up there in Eric Ochoa territory. Started the tournament just under the 400 mark. Nobody's going to make a living hitting home runs off Jack Besgrove. Best you can do, I think, is try and make contact, put the ball in play. Pannebecker trying to, but late on that one. Strikeout number 2 in the inning. Number 9 in the game. And the batter, Fede Olheiser. Olheiser starting the tournament around 270 batting average. Right around 9 hits in the season. In for a called strike. Way inside, ball. For Besgrove, 2 strikeouts in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third, and 2 more here in the fourth. In for a called strike on the outside edge, moving away from the right-hander Olheiser. A ball and 2. Foul tip, just a piece of it. Ball upstairs. Grounder up the middle. That's going to find its way into center field for a base hit. And Olheiser with the second hit of the game for the Lumberjacks.
For the Lumberjacks, center fielder Frank Kimlinger.
So Olheiser aboard with 2 outs. It'll bring up Frank Kimlinger. Kimlinger, the leading hitter for this Lumberjack team. Trying to put one in the gap. Way inside, gets away from Mullen. Ball didn't go far, but far enough that Olheiser winds up at second base. Little conference in the circle. Not sure if Jack had stepped in a hole or had a off-balance landing. Olheiser at second base. Kimlinger with a chance to pick up an RBI with a base hit here. No longer needs to hit the gap. Swing and a miss late. Foul up and out of play on the left side. Cody Gibbons would be next if Kimlinger can reach. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Kimlinger. 3 strikeouts in the inning, 10 on the day thus far for young Jack Besgrove. For AWP in the inning, they get a hit, no runs. They strand a runner. We played 3.5, still 5-0 Gremlins. So back to the top of the order for the Gremlins here in the 4th. Coming off their 5-run 3rd inning, back to the top of the order we go. They sent 10 batters to the plate last inning. Redemar back at the top of the order, so it'll be Redemar, Panuelas, and then the power part of the order, Inoka, Ochoa, and Evans. Lifted into shallow center field, no man's land, no. Coming away with a nice catch, Fede Eder running away into center field to make the out.
Now batting for the Gremlins.
Here's Abayardo Penuelas for the Gremlins. Abayardo 1 for 2 on the day, grounded to second, and had an RBI single in that 5-run 3rd, came around to score one of those 5 runs. Grounder to short, can't come up with it. Adair makes a nice effort, tries to one-hand it. Problem with a guy like Penuelas, he's so fast, you know you've got to hurry. No time to do much of anything. Glove it and throw it. He couldn't there.
Next up, the center fielder, Inoka.
Tough play will leave the official scorekeeper to decide hit or error. Regardless, Penuelas on at first base. Here's Inoka. Strike called on the outside part. Change up, a good one. Might have been that knuckleball actually, just floated in. Inoka held up long enough to get a piece of it, but that's all. So we've got 2 balls to talk to our official scorekeeper about. The last one besides Penuelas was Inoka's last at-bat. Had that hard ground ball right at Pannebacker. Change up again. Inoka out on his front foot. Gets another piece of it. Sabate and Turkelson both with beautiful knuckleballs. I think I give the edge to Cisco as one of the best. Lined up the middle. There's a base hit for Inoka. Rounding second, on his way to third is Penuelas. Cruises into third. So Benny aboard with a base hit. And Penuelas going first to third, so runners now at the corners for Ochoa. And a chance to add to that RBI lead that he has over the rest of the team. Change up a beauty, in for a called strike. Swing and a miss late is Ochoa. Had something other than a single in mind on that swing. The flag in center blowing out to straightaway center. Not very hard, but just lifting the flag out towards center. Way outside. Change up, a good one, fought off by Ochoa. You know, it seems that every time we see Penuelas, he's been on base, moving around the bases. If you're a pitcher, it's a big headache. 1 minute he's at the plate, next he's at first, now over at third. No point in saving him a seat in the dugout. He's never there. Off the plate away. Took a little bit off that one. 2-2 count on Ochoa. Change up again. Ochoa lays off, and Benny says, I'll take second. Tyler Bully having a little trouble behind the plate with that last pitch, so Inoka takes second. First base open now, but it won't get any easier with Cole Evans waiting on deck. Foul straight back to the screen. If you joined us late, the Gremlins scored a run in the first, 5 in the third. That's where we are right now in a 6-0 game. Home half of the fourth. Hard grounder. Panebecker can't come up with it. Ball winds up in right field. Marrero puts it back in play. Coming home to score easily. Penuelas right behind him, Benny Noka. 8-0 Gremlins.
Score now 8-0. The batter, shortstop Cole Evans.
So a 2 RBI single for Eric Ochoa, adding to that RBI total. Here's Cole Evans. Evans a triple and a double on the day so far. Halfway to a cycle, and he's got the hard one out of the way. Ball upstairs. That one's in for a called strike. First 5 runs charged to Ryan French, the starter. Sabate came on with 2 out in the third. Surrendered a run, but got out of the inning. 3 balls and 2 strikes, full count on Cole Evans. Laced into the hole between short and third. Evans has a single to go with the double and the triple. The only question is whether he'll get another at-bat, as the Gremlins are now in run-ahead rule territory with their 8-0 lead. So single, double, triple day for Cole Evans. Eric Ochoa moving to second base on the hit. And Brian Avery, the batter. Fouled up and out of play on the right side. Brian 1 for 2 on the day, a fly out to center and a single, and scored a run in that 5-run third. Change up, a good one, lifted high and shallow. Kimlinger coming on, and he'll make the catch. Good pitch by Sabate. Avery just a little bit under that one. So here's Ladislao Malarczuk. Malarczuk also 1 for 2 on the day. Single and a strikeout. The strikeout from Ryan French, the single, was against Sabate. Laddie was the first batter to face him when he came in the third. Foul tip. If you're a Lumberjack fan and looking ahead to the 5th, knowing that they have to score a run to extend the game beyond 5 innings, they'll have Gibbons, Bully, Vala, and Morero to try and scratch for some runs. Foul tip, change up, a good one. Sabate not trying to overpower the hitters. Lots of change-ups. Not going to throw the ball by hitters of this caliber. Another off-speed pitch, a one-hopper to first. Nice play over there by Johnny Lynch. Side retired, but the Gremlins add a pair. And we head now to the home half of the 5th, or top half of the 5th inning. 8-0 Gremlins. We'll be right back with more. Eight nothing Gremlins on top as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. With the run-ahead rule, AWP knows they need a run if they want their full set of at-bats. The run-ahead rule, 7 after 5. For the Lumberjacks in the inning, it'll be Gibbons, Bully, and Vala. Gibbons, a strikeout victim, his first time up against Besgrove. Besgrove with 10 strikeouts through 4. Once again in double-digit category. Hard to remember a game that he has not had double-digit strikeouts. The only one that comes to mind was the last time he faced the Lumberjacks. He only threw 3 innings. He had 9 strikeouts in that one, over 3 innings of relief. That's about the only way you keep Jack Besgrove out of double digits. He has just been that unhittable. Swing and a miss by Gibbons. Down on strikes he goes. That's number 11.
Up next is the catcher, Danny Alstad.
So batting for Bully will be Daniel Allstat. Swing and a miss. Swing and a foul tip, 2 strikes. Hard grounder to second, finds its way into right field. And Daniel Allsted has a base hit, 3rd on the day for the Lumberjacks.
Up next, the left fielder, Juan Maya.
So Allsted aboard. And the batter, Juan Vala. Was looking for a possible pinch runner for Allstat, but at this point, Daniel, if he can hit like that, he'll run for himself. Swing and a miss late on the riser. Vala nodding his head as if to say, I could see it, just couldn't catch up with it. That one gets away from Mullins, and Allstat winds his way down to second. So a scoring opportunity. They just need a couple to extend the game. High pop fly, shallow right field. Coming on to make the catch is Panuelas. Malarczuk chasing it down as well, but gave way to Panuelas, who had a better angle on it.
Right fielder,
So 2 outs in the inning. Allstat still down at second base. And it'll be the right fielder for AWP, Mike Marrero. Strike on the outside edge. Paint it black. Can almost hear Keith Richards' guitar. Ball high, stays upstairs. Ball upstairs. Besgrove last night, we mentioned 17 strikeouts and was largely unhittable, but Circle Tap managed to put together 3 hits and a couple of runs in that 1 inning. AWP hoping for one here. Swing and a miss late is Marrero. In for a called third strike, and that is the side retired. 8-0 final score here in this one on the run-ahead rule. 8-0 after 5 innings, 12 strikeouts on the day for Jack Besgrove. Add those to the 17 last night. He's got 29 in 2 games. Add 13 from Osika in the early game, and you've got 3 wins for the Gremlins. So final score here, New York Gremlins 8, AWP Lumberjacks nothing. Winning pitcher Jack Besgrove, losing pitcher Ryan French. And we will see you tomorrow. Look for the playoff pairings. The Gremlins win 2 today. Had a win last night, so they are 3-0 and look to be in the driver's seat in the seeding. Keep an eye on the internet to check the Gremlins Twitter and Facebook page. For Luciano Lofrano and Softball Premier TV, for the Gremlins Network, I'm Jim Flanagan. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. Scheduled broadcast tomorrow. Check the schedule to be sure, but they were originally at 9 and noon. Come on back tomorrow. Hope you can join us. Playoff round. So long.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas.
Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more.
The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now, softballpremiertv.com.